for me, it had been a decision that was a long time in coming. You know, and it finally came down to the idea that I knew I was not going to be happy until I was able to express myself musically and creatively with the direction that I take my music in and my career and the way I present myself. So that's ultimately what led me to leave Megadeth. And you know, Shawn and I had been talking about it for a while, and he actually left 6 hours before I did. And when he did, I was like, whoa, Shawn actually left. He left Megadeth. And I, you know, had called some friends and actually some of my endorsers and stuff like that, people that I knew I could confide in. And talking to them and seeing how they all had my back and, you know, were, you know, basically supportive of me moving on, I knew that Shawn had made the right choice because, you know, we were being called in to start writing the next CD, and it just, that's not the right thing to do if your heart's not in it. So the time to leave was right when we left, and that was late November of last year. And then as far as starting Act of Defiance, you know, it was really just, again, talking with Shawn, and we were talking about how we had all this great material that was never going to be released or anything like that. We started joking around about, you know, just releasing it just to see what would happen. And then from there it quickly turned into, hey, let's make a full-fledged band and let's just put something together that the fans can get behind and get to know us. And, you know, they realize that we're a unit and a team. So what do you think, Shawn?
That pretty much sums it up.
So 6 hours before,
yeah.
Did you know it was coming? Or
No.
I think he was just like, screw this, I'm gonna do it, you know. And
I confided in him about it. The reasons are similar. I wanted to, just kind of focus on the music that I wanted to make, and I wanted to make heavier music. And when I confided in Chris about it, I come to find out that he was thinking along the same lines. So it's purely music, from my perspective, it's purely musical decision, and it was a good time to do it. The band was taking a huge break for like a year, and I didn't want to do that. So I figured if there was ever a time to do it, the more I thought about it, you know, I came to the decision that now would be the time. So yeah, it wasn't as much as I would have liked it to be, but I knew that going in. I never had an issue with it. But again, over the course of time, I just started to realize that I really wanted to make heavier music, and I wanted to make my own music and not have any musical boundaries, or not to say that I had that in that band at all, because I didn't, but I just wanted to do it organically in my way, and whatever that ended up being, I didn't want to put any limitations on myself, except I wanted to make a heavy metal record, which is a very broad term. So
yeah, and for me personally, you know, when you're writing in Megadeth, you know, it has to sound like Megadeth, which is Dave Mustaine, and you know, he's the head of the company, which is rightfully so. He built that legacy, and but I think going into that and understanding that, you realize that your own creative outlet will never fully be realized, and so I think that's one of the biggest reasons for wanting to move on creatively.
Because all the other good names were taken.
Yeah, true.
Black
Truthfully.
Sabbath was taken.
Yeah, you know what we did when we came up with the name was I just opened an online doc, and Shawn and I just started throwing, you know, whenever it would strike us, just throw names down on the online doc, and we didn't question it one way or the other, and we had probably 20 plus ideas and names. And we really came down to liking the term defiance.
Yeah, we like defiance. The word defiance.
But of course, that's probably taken in every country, province, and everywhere else on the planet and the universe. But so we knew we couldn't use that. So we started looking at terms that would really still maintain the meaning and not be too confusing to the, you know, people looking for us or trying to find us.
We did it in different parts of the country. I did my drum tracks in 4.5 days in Connecticut. Chris has his own studio in LA, so.
Probably total recording time would be, I did mine over the course of a month, because at that time I was also working on the lyric content with Henry, and we were still somewhat in the writing process, which is a fairly common thing today, to be writing actually as you're recording. So the actual recording time would be probably far less, but with the writing and the orchestration and all of that, I would say, we started actually, we hit the record. When did you do your drums? Was it
End of January.
Yeah, end of January, and then we had to have the finished product at May
1st.
May
We turned
1st.
it in the day early.
Yeah. Hey, this is Chris Broderick.
And I'm Shawn Drover, and we're Act of Defiance. Please subscribe to Louder Noise, the loudest noise on the planet.
Yay.